Did you know that for this movie, if you take a look at the Predator's trophy wall, you will see a harvester skull from Independence Day. Predator Badlands is another installment in the Predator franchise, directed by Trachtenberg. And this was not what I was expecting when I heard that another Predator movie is going to be made, because Prey is vastly different than this movie, and I really enjoyed Prey a lot. It really brought me back into the world of the Predator. So when I heard that a sequel was being announced, I didn't expect it to be one that was completely focused on the Predator species, the Yautja. Basically, what is this going to add to the Predator franchise? What is this going to mean for the future of the Predator franchise? I feel like this movie's a little bit overhyped, but this is all just people's personal preference. This is all my opinion. I enjoyed it a lot. I have a lot of great things to say about this movie. There's only one thing I didn't like, but I will save that for the end. First thing I liked is the world building. So we get a couple new planets. We get the home planet of the Yautja, but we also get the planet of Genna, which is the death planet that we get to see. It's the planet that we're spending most of the time at. The CGI actually was pretty good for the most part, in my opinion, when it came to the creatures that we got to see on this planet of Genna. A lot of it actually reminded me of Kong Skull Island. That tree monster thing reminded me a lot of Skull Island specifically, but there are other creatures that I felt like they kind of took inspiration from either Skull Island or just like other fantasy, weird, big monster inspirations just throughout history. But some of them seemed very specific, like they wanted to kind of pay homage to it. That was great. Then the world building, just how Dan really just brought it to life. Like he made the worlds that we got to go to wide open vastness. Like if you're gonna see this movie, see it on the biggest screen possible. I saw it on the super screen last night, and it was immersive as heck. It was so amazing. There were so many amazing shots, completely epic shots. A few times during the movie, I just was saying, man, that's a beautiful shot, because there are so many beautiful shots throughout this movie. I think it's a really great balance of, you got like the ferocity of the Yautja, but you also have the beauty of the planet. And that goes into what I liked the most about this movie was the action. I was hoping that the action would not disappoint, because the action in Prey was really good. This took the action to a whole new level. Just the choreography was off the charts. Whoever did the choreography definitely deserves a raise. There are a few fight scenes, especially near the end, that were just incredible. When you have a predator against a predator, they use literally everything they can against each other, and of course when they use their cloaking technology, that's when it gets real, that's when it gets crazy. But all the different weapons they use, and just like the hand-to-hand combat, incredible. Absolutely incredible. I actually wanted more, believe it or not. I actually wanted more action. We got a good amount of action in this movie, but I think there could have been more action added. And another kind of interesting thing I found was I didn't expect this movie to have as much humor as it did. Now, sometimes when it's an action movie like this, if you're not careful, the humor can take away from the movie and completely just like take people out of it with all the humor. But I found that Elle Fanny's character of Thea, her humor was actually perfect for just like the situation she was in, and it ended up being a good mix of humor but also super seriousness at the same time. I was a little worried at first when I started seeing Theo was just like cracking jokes left and right and left and right, and Deck wasn't having any of it. I'm like, okay, it's kind of funny, but I'm like, I hope this doesn't get overused. I hope that it's used here and there strategically, because I can see how people might think the character of Thea is really annoying. It's not funny. We just want action. We just want predator carnage. That's like all we want, right? But to me, I think it was really well balanced. I actually was laughing a few times. It was kind of like subtle, dark humor type stuff. It actually was pretty well executed in terms of the humor. And then really the only thing I didn't like is the story. I felt like the story was honestly kind of hollow. There wasn't much to it. It was also super predictable at times. I guess in my mind, I was expecting something else. I don't know. I think I was expecting a little more seriousness, maybe a little more. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting what we got. What we got was good, but it wasn't great. The story, I think, could have been stronger in certain aspects and not lean into familiar tropes that we've seen before Because this is what, like the 8th or ninth Predator movie? I mean, I guess at that point you kind of get pretty familiar with the idea and the concepts, and the story can't be super brand new. I know, I was just wishing the story was a little stronger, a little, maybe it developed a little more. But that's it. That's all I have to say, and I highly recommend go see this movie. It is really, really fantastic, phenomenal. Like I said, see it on the biggest screen possible. So for Predator Badlands, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop the comments below. What kind of Predator movie would you want to see? See you soon.